Let's speak about electric vehicle stocks, baby. What is happening, investors? It is your boy Jack. I am not a financial advisor, and today we got a lot to speak about. We're going to be looking at Tesla, we're going to be looking at BYD, we got Nio, we got Lucid Motors, we got Li Auto, we got XPeng. We pretty much got a little bit of everybody sprinkled in there. It's a video I want to make just to speak about a lot of important things, just to put in one video. You know, they don't need a specific video about every single one of these things. We can just get all of the value and squish it into one juicy video for you guys. So obviously now, with it being a little bit into January, we have all of, the delivery numbers for Q4 and 2022 as a whole. We can really see how certain companies have grown, how they have, managed their delivery targets compared to where they were in 2021, and how they have handled, Roni and everything else that has been thrown at them. Because let's be honest, guys, it has been a very, very tough year for anybody in the EV industry and anybody in the automaking industry in general. I mean, 2022 marks the worst showing for US car sales in over a decade. You can't argue that now is not a tough time for pretty much any automaker. But of course, if you're like me and you think that EV is the future, we need to, keep up to date with these times. We need to know what is going on around us. We need to be willing to understand what we're investing in and what we want to, double down on, or what we potentially need to say goodbye to in 2023. With that being said, my friends, could I please ask you to hit that juicy like button? And if you do end up enjoying this video and getting some value, could I please ask you to subscribe just for more juicy content? I also am absolutely delighted to let you guys know I am now a Seeking Alpha affiliate. Now, if you've watched any of my videos over the last couple of years, they will have featured Seeking Alpha. It's the only stock market tool that I pay for out of my own pocket, and I still am now, even through being an affiliate with the company. They are just my favorite by an absolute long shot, and right now, using my link that will be in the description or the comment section, you can get it for literally half of the price that I pay personally every single month. It's literally a one-stop shop for absolutely everything stock market related. I made a portfolio here for FANG stocks. You can see how they're doing on the day. You can see their volume, their average volume. Literally, my favorite thing about the website is here, okay? You can see all of the latest articles that have come about any of these stocks. You can see any transcript that's come out, any press release for all of these companies, any news that has come out. It really is never ending. And say, for example, you want to go to Meta, you want to take a look at their financials, see how they've been doing. You can do that. Here's their income statements, their balance sheets, their cash flows. You can do annual or quarterly. There is everything here. Let's say you don't even know what you're looking for. You can go to the headline screen. We see trending analysis and trending news. You can catch up on everything stock market at the snap of a fingers. If you are really into investing, this will be the biggest time saver you ever see. So that is that link, my friends. Now we're going to start it off with this headline here, because I personally think that the Chinese EV market is one of the most lucrative, exciting ones in the world right now. Especially, we see 2022 marks the worst showing for US car sales in over a decade. What's going on with the big EV names? So we're going to look at Tesla, Nio, XPeng, Li Auto, and BYD deliveries, because now we have all of their deliveries for, 2022 and Q4 in particular. BYD, which stands for Build Your Dreams, the one that everybody knows because of Warren Buffett, has experienced explosive growth in its home market, China, in 2022, apart from also expanding internationally. They set a new record with its deliveries in December, as it has done regularly in 2022. Overall, the company delivered 235,000 new energy vehicles during the month, which was up by a massive 150% year over year. I mean, you don't need to tell me to tell you how significant that is. BYD are consistently smashing it out of the park. And yeah, they are definitely by far one of the better performing EV companies out there right now. In Q4 as a whole, they sold 683,000 new energy vehicles, roughly split 50-50 between BEVs and PHEVs. So important to understand, they're not all battery electric vehicles. At this run rate, BYD will sell close to 3 million vehicles in 2023, even without any further growth. Now, to be fair, Q4 historically is the best month for electric vehicle and vehicle sales in general, both in China and the US. So, 3 mil is by no means guaranteed, but it could well become a reality for this company at this rate. Now, Li Auto, one that's not as big, not as followed, reported monthly deliveries of 21,000 vehicles for December. Again, huge. It was a new record for the company, and represents an attractive growth rate of 51% year over year, which again, very considerable. I've just realized my camera is still back too big. Apologies if I was covering up some of the text there, but it's fixed now. Quarterly deliveries totaled 46,000, which was up 32% year over year. And then Nio, obviously one a lot of people follow, a lot of one will be excited for, sold 16,000 vehicles in December, which the majority of people are okay with. We weren't particularly ecstatic, but it's okay. It was a record for the company, which again, still the fact that we're saying, we're not ecstatic over a record for the company says a lot. Sales were up 51% year over year, which was a similar growth rate when compared to Li Auto. And for the fourth quarter, Nio reported 40,000 deliveries, which represents an attractive growth rate of 60% compared to the previous year's period. And one I always like to point out with Nio is if you go compare 2021 to 2020, again, the growth is immense. And we've seen near 10x growth in the last few years, and they are keeping it going at these large numbers. You always see it with EV now. We even saw it with Tesla only hitting 40% delivery growth as opposed to expected 50%. And that was a huge disappointment for people. The fact that people are disappointed with that insane growth rate says a lot about just how good the company is doing, in my opinion, at the very least. Tesla, still the largest EV player by market cap, despite its hefty share price drop over the last year, didn't announce deliveries on a per month basis, but during the fourth quarter, the company delivered 405,000 vehicles. That makes for 135,000 monthly average. We can expect it to be, bigger in December and November and October. Compared to the previous year's fourth quarter, they generated a deliveries growth rate of 31%. Now, we can see this. They delivered 55,796 China-made electric vehicles in December, according to the China Passenger Car Association. So that gives us an idea of where some of these deliveries are coming from, but again, that's all we really have to work off. Tesla sold around 60% of the vehicles BYD sold, but at a higher average sales price. So again, that is important to keep in mind, my friends. It's not just about vehicle sales. Tesla's more likely going to have higher revenues all in all, which is why, they will report a higher revenue number for Q4 relative to BYD. When we look at pure battery electric vehicle sales only and exclude PHEV delivery, Tesla is still the market leader for now. So again, a lot of good coming from Tesla, despite some mixed opinions out there as of this moment in time. Me personally, still very happy with what they are doing. And then really quickly, XPeng had a strong end to the year. The company delivered a little more than 11,000 vehicles in December, which almost doubled the week November delivery numbers. Now, if you were following XPeng or my channel at all, you will know that November was absolutely horrible for XPeng. And their stock started going crazy. They sold off an awful lot. And then they had some 20-30% green days because of some comments from management. It really did become a meme stock for a matter of a few weeks. It's regulated again now to an extent. You can see today it's up 1.73%. But that is the majority of the Chinese market right now. And overall, it's looking like a strong market, my friends. Which is, again, good and bad. Somewhat worrying for Tesla at the moment. Their tally for Chinese-made electric vehicles in December marked a 44% month-over-month decline and 21% drop from the level of production a year ago. Now again, Tesla is already overproducing to an extent. Maybe that's something to do with it. I think they are expecting some slight slowdowns as of this moment in time as well. But Tesla is having an awful lot thrown at them. I still think they're doing fantastic. I made a full video on them only recently if you want to check that out in regards to when I feel like is the best time to buy Tesla. Now again, in regards to the US moving away of China from a second, only 13.7 million vehicles were sold in 2022, according to the research firm Wars Intelligence, marking an 8% decrease from the previous year and the lowest overall figure since 2011. Now guys, you got to keep in mind, Roni, you got to keep in mind people being out of work, not having as much expenditures, or not having as much money to expend, I should say. Sales had even surpassed 17 million vehicles for 5 consecutive years before the Roni in 2020. So a huge drop off from 2019-2020 numbers in general. And again, that's putting everyone back. That is making it harder for all of these companies to grow because they need to sell vehicles to grow. But overall, again, Tesla is handling what is being thrown at them just as well as, the rest of these companies are. Now, what about Mullen? Just if there is any Mullen investors out there, I made a full video on these guys again earlier on. But the cost to borrow stocks went up 8,000%. The current figure was at 742.5%. Now, they did drop 80% the same night. But this is getting people very, very excited of a potential short squeeze. So Mullen, if you haven't been following along, has exploded up over the last couple of weeks since just before Christmas. They have more than 2x I think at one stage it was about a 2.5, nearly 3x even from the very bottoms. And right now they're still up there. There is a cup and handle creating to an extent. So I may as well get the chart up for you guys, but you can see kind of the craziness that happened here in the after hours. There was a huge upward move yesterday for Mullen. They jumped up again. They also came right back down again. They are fighting. Right now, bulls are winning yet again. They're up about 8% on the day, and this is a bad day for stocks and EV in general. You can see this is the 4-hour chart. A cup and handle could, and what I'm hoping is will happen here, a slight pullback. Fill in this gap, make a little handle, and then boom, maybe we get a nice move to the upside from about 52 cents a share to 58 cents a share. And again, when you look at those recent bottoms of 18-ish cents a share, if it could go all the way up there, that would be a 220-ish% move, which would be very, very juicy. But that is why people are getting excited about Mullen right now. As of December 15th, there was a total of 161 million shares sold short. That is 43.5% of the float sold short. That is why it's getting so expensive to borrow here. Now, we can clearly see there is high short seller demand. All you have to do is look at those numbers. I think it's going to be a back and fight for a little while here. I'm still watching from the sidelines, but I'm watching very closely. I'm finding it very exciting. Lucid recently went ahead and raised $1.5 billion. So 600 million in a secondary offering and 900 million in a private offering to Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. Again, if it was not for these guys, I would be terrified of my Lucid position in the short term. But with these guys on my side, I feel confident. And for the first time ever, it's getting the prices where even I would consider buying back in a little bit, or not buying back in, but adding to my position for the first time. As somebody who rode these guys from day one and walked away with a 400+% gain, I find it easy to sit in my position, and I still think that they are going to absolutely smash it in the near and long-term futures. Lucid Motors is not on as solid a financial footing as Tesla, of course. It's on better footing now. The company said it has the funds to produce enough vehicles through 2024, and it began deliveries of its Air model in Europe. And I even saw some of you guys in my comment section saying you are getting one of these. And one more thing about Lucid, their PS ratio is now lower than Tesla and Rivian. Now again, it's hard to compare them. It's hard to compare most of these companies, especially when you look at Tesla, because they have so much more going for them than Lucid do, for example. But they have a PS ratio of 2.5x compared to 3.8 for Tesla and 3.7 for Rivian. And Rivian is down as well, absolutely hugely. Rivian's getting to a stage now where it's quite disgusting. I don't own any Rivian, but I am considering getting into it in the near future. I remember when they went public, I thought it was crazy valuations. At the time, everything was. But now it's getting to a stage where, you know, I have to start considering them again, baby. Now, obviously, your main risk with Lucid, you cannot forget about this from a commercial perspective, is production and delivery volume is likely their biggest risk, okay? They need to produce, they need to sell. It's all well and good, you know, trying to get up to 50,000 pre-orders and having over 4 billion in potential revenues. I don't think people care about that in the current climate. They do when everything's going up and it's funny money. Yes, all these pre-orders are fun, but right now they don't really mean anything to anyone. But anyway, my friends, that is my video on, you know, a little bit of everything in the EV industry. I like making these videos sometimes, and you guys seem to enjoy them as well. So if you watched all the way till the end, hopefully you did enjoy, and you, my friend, are a true legend. Again, if you did enjoy, all I ask is you hit that like button and subscribe if you want more content. I mean, for your own sake. And again, if you are interested in doing your own research, Seeking Alpha is the website for you, and that link will be in the comment section and the description down below. Anyway, guys, I hope you all have a beautiful, blessed day. I'll see you in another video very soon. Peace.